All right. Hello and welcome. This is tonight's episode of Lost Legacy, our D&D live play campaign. I'm your GM Gino, and it's been a month, and I'll go into a whole idea of what happened last game because that stream got cut off, but we still played and we had a great time. You just couldn't watch us, and that was rough. But I'll try to do my best to sum up. Not a huge story, but we'll sum it up. But let's start with how I have the display. So, Chris, why don't you tell them who you're playing, what you do, and any projects people should watch or know about?
Hey everybody, that's me. I'm Chris. Yeah, that's me. I gotta remind myself sometimes. I am playing the wonderful changeling Finn, currently in his gnomish form. And I am also a psychic weapon. Which I'm fond of saying now. And as far as projects are concerned, I run my Wednesday game on my channel, Players and Creators. We're currently doing Tyranny of Dragons, and that's pretty much it.
All right.
You're right.
That's pretty dope. All right, next, Rennie.
Hey, folks. I am Rennie. I am part of the Unconventional Hero team that helped kind of bring this world and this podcast to life, or live play to life. I play Disbin Nartleby, or Disbin Tinderfoot, as his chosen family name. I play a Goblin Paladin with the Oath of Vigilance, a sort of homebrew subclass that we made specifically for our world setting here. As far as projects go, I'm pretty much just involved right now in this kind of thing. But I just started a new job, and it's on overnights. And so if I act a little weird or wacky, it's because my sleep schedule is janky as all heck right now.
Next is Sam.
Hey, I'm Sam. I play Otsaseth Kroshtuk, our Dragonborn Death Cleric. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I don't have anything to plug or anything interesting to say about myself. Other than that, I am excited to be here playing this game with these wonderful people.
All right, and last but not least, we have Norm.
Hey everyone, I'm Norm. I play Kaboom, a gnome artificer. So we have two gnomes in the party. That's always a good thing. Happy to be back after a little bit of a break. The only thing I'm working on is I'm involved in Old Academy Players. We're a community theater in East Falls, and I'm directing our first play, which opens in 2 weeks at Old Academy Players. It's called the Book Club Play. It's a comedy. I've been working on it since July. So if anybody's interested in checking out tickets, you can get on our website, oldacademyplayers.org. If you have any other questions, you can definitely hit me up. I appreciate it.
All right, well, thanks, Norm. You got me a plug. I could have put it in our ad reel, but anyway.
I can get it over to you pretty quick.
All right, well, depending how quick, I could literally throw it into our ad reel before I go to a commercial break. Anyway, so that's that. So cool thing we have with our channel, which is you can get these little potion bottles or channel points. You can spend them to give either the players inspiration by nominating a player or just saying group, and then they'll decide when to use it. Or you can give me inspiration, which I will likely use it against them. Or if maybe they're interacting with an NPC and I feel like they really need the information, maybe if that NPC needs to succeed, I'll give it to them. Who knows? Mine are more expensive, for inspiring the players way easier. Besides that, I guess let's go into like the synopsis. All right. So last we left off, because again we missed a session mostly, was that the players had defeated the Nartleby family who were trying to sacrifice some innocent people. They unfortunately succeeded at one. They succeeded at one sacrifice, but they saved most of the people. Acquired some strange goods that were stolen. A weird hide off of something called a Hex Flex Warg, which is like rune inscribed, and they headed to their location, which was Draven's Rest, a coastal town and pretty much the trade hub of the human kingdom, or humanoid kingdom, but mostly humans. everyone is welcome, but that's what they're known for. And this place, Draven's Rest, is it's the famous like coastal town that has lots of adventurers come here, founded it. Huge adventuring culture. It has knightly orders that help protect and become the standing army when things are needed, and it has a like kind of parliament situation as its government. Besides that, there is a king, but that person gets reported to by a baron that is in charge of this area. Last they did, this is partly part of this place's that exists is that where Disbin's side stories growth quest took place, which is that they got sorry, I just got Norm's text and I'll put that in. But they found this Black Swallow Inn, which is a place that Disbin has been to, and the museum, which is the Hall of Honor, is another place of interest that Disbin had to pull a heist in. So, and there's some warehouses and other things already labeled. There's a map that will be on display when we switch over to it that kind of gives you, as they are discovering places, I am trying to label the map for them. So far, when they came into town, they noticed a pickpocket by the name of Chance. Finn, using, his roguish nature, kind of convinced the kid to work for them. And then the kid is essentially selling their goods on the black market to get them money. While they are walking around, there's a whole place called Embassy Row, and there are different cultures and nations representing. And that is where we met the Kazralian embassy by a dragonborn named Darastix. I have his name. There we go. Yes, his name is Darastix de Verdance, and he is I believe, green dragonborn. And he is definitely of the trading houses of Kazralia, and he definitely kissed the boots of Otisesh and recognized his noble title, and is currently looking into some information for Otisesh. You guys, when you came into town, heard there was a disease. You were all scanned by some clerical figures to see if you were carrying a disease for potential. They said everything's fine. We're making sure we're keeping it under quarantine. Everything is fine. No problems here. But you have heard the murmur of a small plague, but it is not deadly so far. Besides that, you guys headed to the Freeman's Inn, which is two tieflings, husband and wife, own it. They have kind of thrown off the shackles of their culture and whatever the tieflings do, which is generally have weird names and do weird things that people don't often like. But they're often known as like sailors, and they have island chains and sometimes pirates. Otisesh has ran into a few of the more worse off tieflings trying to assault his trip as he was trying to head to this nation. But these guys are free, and you guys rented out like the presidential suite, but it's called the captain's suite, and it's kind of boat themed and nautical themed. And you notice that there were some rat holes, and Finn sent Mickey down one, and Mickey's life was ended temporarily. He'll get better, but you did notice that there were rats. Nothing too crazy, and Reggie kind of sniffed around, and you guys blocked them off, kind of searching for any holes, but everything seemed fine. As you guys were wandering through the town, besides, you heard about this place called Brackle Brineworth's, what his name is there? Yeah, hold on, I gotta look at this. Brackle Brineworth's Antiques. He's apparently a deep diver, and apparently some sort of mer race, and everyone says he's kind of a weirdo. Or they are a weirdo, because who knows what his Piscean, physiology represents. But yeah, he apparently has some weird antiques that you guys were curious about, but did not end up going. Besides that, you guys are now on your way to the Hall of Honor to kind of check into a little bit of you're looking for this figure, Nadia Peacepennies, who is apparently dead. And when you described her to Norm before you left, when Disbin described the person he met, Norm said, Norm the gnome was like, "That's interesting. I thought she was dead." And so this has led you here. And last time you encountered her was in the museum, the Hall of Honor. That is where Disbin. So you figured you're going to go back and check it out. You guys paid your silver to get in, and you guys are in the museum. So let's transfer over that. I think that's pretty much everything as best I can summed up. I know it's a lot. I'm sorry. But yeah, that seems good. Okay. So with that out of the way, a lot of talking. Let's get into playing. Okay, let me switch some stuff. Let's get a map of the area. So this is the town I was talking about. Those people on the stream, you're going to tune in. But we are actually going to switch. Actually, we don't need the, we'll use a museum map. We're going to switch over to the museum map for all of you. There we go. Bam. All right. So this is the museum map. You guys have entered through the main door. I believe you checked your weapons as the last time I recall. Some of you, I believe, Finn, you may... Oh, you don't need weapons, so you didn't bring it? Or I don't know if you
I stuffed my daggers in my boots and they didn't find them.
Yep. And, yeah, some of you who don't have weapons or things that look like weapons, they ignored. Okay. So you make your way into the museum. Disbin, not much has changed. There's definitely some different art, different pedestals up, but the same exhibits are still here. There's kind of like, an herbalism shop set up of like, this is what this place did. These are the druids of these people. You still have the Baron's throne. There is still a helmet there. If you go to check, as you recall, you stole that helmet. But there seems to be a helmet. There are guards all about. I will say it seems like there are more guards than last time. Seems like patrols
Not
are
surprising.
a little heavier. There are different paintings of heroic figures. Ralford of the Arcane, Sir Garth the Strong, the Baron Sir John Renwick, and a few others. You do see some pictures of like Nadia Peacepennies, who's this like elusive, 3 foot, maybe 2'6", raven, black hair, kind of shadowy figure, but she definitely has like a serious look. There's some pictures of her with like medals and commendations, like as captain of the guard, but it's from like 20 years ago. So she definitely is a notable figure, and her hobbit home is put up and shown. If you look over, this is her hobbit home, set up kind of on the map. This is the Baron's kind of throne room as a example. This is Sir Garth's like first smithy, and this is Ralford's study, or at least a representation of what they believe his wizard tower looked like. Disbin, you recall that behind this painting there was a secret stairway to get downstairs, and you know that there was a more obvious but also slightly hidden stairway over here. If you're trying to get so. Yeah, right now, again, there's a good amount of guards. They're all patrolling. They're keeping eyes on people. But what would you guys like to do?
So my first question is, Disbin, are you pointing that stuff out to us, like as we're going from room to room? Are you like telling us?
Yeah. So when we start moving through here, you're gonna notice that Dizzy has his hood up. And he's like keeping his head down. Like, Dizzy's usually just like I walk around and this is who I am, even if people don't like it. Dizzy is a very different disposition in this building. And as we pass by, he kind of points out, he'll give you a little nudge and go, yeah, so behind this painting over here, there's a secret stairwell. And then, he points at the larger one down at the end of the hall. There's another stairwell over there, but that one is probably more heavily guarded. And Gene, I'd like to also ask, do I recognize anyone from my heist times?
I mean, there's definitely guards that you knocked out.
Cool.
Uh,
Cool.
Definitely, there's dwarves, half elves, humans of varying, but definitely it's a lot heavier. It's a lot heavier guards. There's like I would say there's
Right.
probably 2 to 3 guards in the larger rooms. There's one guard stationed inside the Hobbit hole, and then each of the little galleries that have paintings each have one guard, and there's constantly a 2-person patrol on the larger hallways and entrances, kind of milling between and obvious checkpoints.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll let you know about the entrances as we move, and I will tell you that in the room up here, in sort of the north west quadrant, this is a weapons room, sort of representative of Garth the Strong's Forge. And I tell you about the Hobbit Hole, and that's Nadia's house, quote unquote, where the one of the secret entrances is. Yeah, but I definitely seem to try to stay in the middle of the pack as opposed to maybe walking in front or anything like that.
All right. Is the this is for Eugene? Is the guard in the room or just on the outside?
no, there is a guard in every all the large rooms have 2 to 3. The Hobbit hole has one guard in the room. It seems like security is way tight. I mean, you might be able to distract him, you might be able to get him out, and but he's definitely standing there watching, just doing his job. Let's see. Let's roll a die. Let's see what he is. He is a half elf. You just see this half elf, definitely a little bit sharper eyes, her ears, just definitely keeping on the swivel, looking around, but not interacting, not like threatening or mugging, just standing back. Has like a club, like a billy club hooked, but no like knives. It definitely looks like they don't try to kill. They're probably going to either try to subdue you or lock you up if you are breaking. And you do see manacles as well. Just a set, club, shield, just kind of standing there.
All right, so I'm asking a bunch of questions because I've got an idea, but I want to know the setup first. Does there happen to be like a place that sells food? Like maybe they sell food or like a gift shop or something in this place?
It actually does not have one of those. It seems
All
like
right.
this is like a city-funded museum, but like not for like it's just for people to go like visit the culture, opposed to like make money and like sell things like so. So they're somehow independently well.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand in my pouch and I'm going to hold my coin.
Okay.
And I'm going to resummon Mickey.
Okay. It's gonna take like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to look like I'm looking around,
Okay.
like, and just enjoying everything. But in those 10 minutes, I'm going to be focusing on resummoning Mickey.
Okay. Yeah. So are you expending a hit die or a psionic die to do this?
I'm expending a charge from the coin itself.
Okay. So you kind of like focus, you kind of get into that like inner place and like cycling through where you saw that weird crystalline figure from your growth quest, and after you kind of hit that calm and you're still like your body's still doing like going through the motions of like pointing and like looking, but you're like a fathom away, just kind of like in this own weird like black empty space, and eventually Mickey kind of like perks up and begins like nuzzling you, and then like after this time, waves of energy kind of and then you are no longer holding a coin, and instead Mickey seems to be in your hand, the coin in your pocket, but like where that coin was, Mickey has reformed.
Okay. And then I'm going to telepathically tell Mickey to go into the halfling room.
Okay.
And grab something that he can easily grab from that room. So I don't know if like there's like small things that he can
absolutely.
grab.
Sure.
And make sure that the guard sees him. And as soon as the guard sees him, to run out of the room.
Okay.
So my whole thing is because there's a plague, because I'm sure guards are aware that it's rats and mice that are doing it. I want him to get free. I want him to visually see Mickey, and Mickey just not even do like we were talking about like the New York City pizza rats earlier. Like I want him to be kind of like that, where he's grabbed something and is like eyeing the guard while pulling something. Like, what are you gonna do, right? You know, and then when the guard goes after him, to kind of take off out of the room so we can go in the room without him.
Okay, I know, I like that. So I'm gonna ask you to do something weird, which is, I will say, have Mickey make a performance check with advantage, and he can use his dexterity instead of charisma, because it's not really a charismatic thing. He's just trying to make sure he gets seen. So he may not be skilled in performance, but he has advantage.
All right, so use the dex instead of
that.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, 16.
That's a real good roll. Okay. Yeah. So he acknowledges you as you kind of, send him on his way, and as he begins moving around, he looks for something that he knows he can drag. So he begins crawling on a shelf, and you're kind of watching from the distance, and you see one of a clay pot that was up there gets knocked off, and he's and then grabs some sort of herb that's been up there, grabs in his teeth and begins scurrying down a wall, and the guard's just fuck, and he pulls out his billy club, and Mickey begins skirting. Make me a stealth check for Mickey as the guard begins chasing him out of the room.
Nine.
Okay.
It's all right. I don't want him to be too I want him to be kind of obvious.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if he gets away. So the guard begins moving, but because he did so well on his performance, the guard begins chasing Mickey toward the herb room because Mickey figures he can hide where there's a lot of stuff. And so, cool. Yeah, he runs off. What is Mickey's AC?
1.
His AC is not a 1. That's how many hit points he has. What's his AC?
Oh, I'm sorry. His AC is 10. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 12. So, within moments, you get a minor headache, but the guard is definitely distracted for the next minute or two. So you seem like this room is empty right now, and there's definitely a few guards going over to investigate whatever the kerfuffle's happening in the herb shop. But you have a feeling that Mickey's not long, and Mickey's I'm not going to make it, bud. You hear in your head, you just see images of large people trying to step clubs. You see images of people going and there's definitely people in the museum who seem shocked to see a creature, or at least because this is a little bit more of the wealthy district, so them seeing rats here is they're oh no. But yeah.
So when that happens, I'm all right, let's go. We only got a minute. Let's go. I want to make this worth it. And I will go to where Dizzy pointed out the secret passage. I'm going to check for traps and then see if it's locked.
Okay. Make me an investigation. And then if everyone can make me a group stealth check. But you all have advantage because there was a large distraction. So those of you who have disadvantage are just rolling it normally.
Ooh, I don't think I have disadvantage on stealth anymore.
Yeah, if you're wearing your breastplate, your Papa's breastplate.
I am. Well, look at me go.
All right, so I got a 22 on stealth and a 14 on investigation.
Okay. What are my other stealths?
I got a 16, though I don't think it matches my character very well to be sneaky.
The key is you guys all just walk into the room, but it's whether you attract attention while doing it.
Yeah.
Norm, what we get?
17.
And Rennie?
The same 17.
Wow, that's fucking spectacular for all of you. So with ease and due to Mickey's noble sacrifice, you sneak it. Reggie I don't think was allowed in because
they didn't let him in because they're fucking jerks.
Because animals are not allowed in the museum.
I think I tried to convince them that he was my emotional support dog, but they didn't buy it.
They didn't care. Yep, that's fair. So you guys slip in. It is not trap Finn, and with essentially Diz been telling you like there's a lever, there's like an object you have to pull off a wall, and it slides open the painting. So behind this painting, a set of stairs. It kind of like it's a swing door, and you guys slip in. You can close it behind you. You see there's a button on the inside that will open that again. And let's move over to the next map. Got so many maps. And here we go.
And as we head down these stairs, I'll let everyone know that. When we did the heist, when we were these criminals, this basement area is where they had a bunch of the different museum pieces, and it looked like they were manufacturing some of them, like they were totally bullshit, but whatever. But there was also some sarcophaguses, and there was also a secret cave chamber with some treasure and some actual stuff in it. So I don't know if it's going to be related, but this is where I met that person who wasn't Nadia at the time, but who might have been Nadia. I don't know who the new museum curator or whatever is, but this is where I met them initially. And we definitely didn't try to kill them.
So you descend from these stairs. Come on, get to the right thing. From these stairs, there are caskets. There are weird objects of different import, and barrels and vases, and there is a strange, like serpent-shaped mirror sitting over here.
What kind of serpent?
It's like a cobra, but like where it's like hood is facing is like this like triple mirror that kind of gets you at different angles.
Does the serpent look similar to something that we might have seen before?
Make me a history check.
That's just a snake. I got a 7.
Yeah, I mean it's real exotic looking and probably very expensive. It's weird because opposed to having a silver like mirror reflection, it's made of obsidian. So it's like this black obsidian glass, but you can definitely see there's a reflection.
All right, there's been. You've been here before. What do you think we should? What should we go after first?
So, Gene, if I remember correctly, this barrel back here, that's where the secret area, it might have been a different barrel.
Here?
Yeah, the barrel over there.
Here.
All right, yeah, so I'll kind of...
Yeah.
Okay.
As you begin kind of moving things and getting over there, there is a wall where there used to be a cave entrance.
Oh, interesting.
If anyone would like to make an investigation check, or Norm, are you proficient with mason tools?
Let me check.
Or yeah, if you're proficient with mason tools, let me know.
I'm not.
Okay. So anyone
How do we
can...
know?
Yes.
How do we know there used to be a cave there?
Disbin says that. He tells you
Okay.
that. But
Yeah, I point that's where the entrance was.
But you guys just see a wall that matches the wall that's going directly there. Anyone can make me an investigation check. Oh, yeah, let's say investigation is probably the stat you're going to need.
Kellen, I'll aid you to give you advantage, buddy.
Thank you. I could use advantage.
And I will say,
Sorry, it's not happening for me. I got a 12.
there's a player inspiration and a GM inspiration.
I got
Better-
19.
It's better than me. I got an 8.
You got a 19?
18.
18. Okay. You know, the coloring, the masonry, it doesn't fully match. Like, whoever put this here was very good. It is a solid wall, but it is definitely a bit newer than the wall that is surrounding it. But it is definitely a solid foundation. You're thinking, large stones. Like, it is made properly, but it's just a little bit newer than what the actual wall should be.
This was done with much forethought.
Yeah. I mean, our heist was, a few weeks ago. What was it? A few months?
Yeah, it's probably been about half a year.
Yeah, it's been about 6 months since I was here, so I can only imagine that security has been kind of a priority since then. I'll say this. I could probably get through that wall, but I need a hammer. It's probably going to be noisy, so we might want to look around to see if there's some sort of alternate. Maybe I could dig under it. I don't know. Let's look around.
How about everyone either give me a perception or investigation, and let me know if you're going anywhere specific, or if you just want to do a general one.
I'm going to check out the sarcophagus.
Okay.
Do I have any hunches from like previous archaeological digs as to like where there might be, like where I might look for something like a secret passage, knowing that there's a tunnel here?
Honestly, this used to be a secret. Like, as you kind of compare it and you look at the architecture, you're like, this was sealed. Like, this used to be a cave entrance.
Yeah.
Or something. And it was definitely well hidden, because, like, you look down where the barrels were moved, they're definitely, like, a little easier to move than they should be. But you're like, someone bricked this over. Someone, like, straight bricked this wall up. So, if it's super thick, who knows? But, and a lot of this stuff, you're looking around, a lot of this looks pretty authentic, but you do see a few pieces that may not be as authentic as they should be.
Does anything in particular stand out?
You see 2 crowns.
Terrible.
You see 2 crowns. The 2 crowns on the table, they look nearly identical. And with your expert eyes, someone is trying to make a forgery of this crown. But I'll say, what's your passive perception?
14.
As you looking at the crowns, you think you see movement by the snake mirror, like at the corner of your eye.
Interesting. Like in the mirror or around the mirror?
It's like the moment you focus on it and look toward it, it's just you just see a snake mirror.
I'll go look. I'll spend some more time over by that mirror looking
Okay.
for any funny business.
Make me a perception or investigation. So
I got an 11.
Okay. Norm, what'd you get?
Yeah.
And where are you going? Anywhere specific?
No, I'm just kind of looking around generally. So so it's investigation.
Yep, sure.
14.
Okay. Disman?
So I start checking the bottom of my shoes, the inside of my eyelids. I rolled a frickin' 1, G.
Interesting. Rennie?
I'm going to search around, but I'm guessing I'm kind of searching places I've already
as you're
searched.
moving around, you get like something walked over your grave feeling.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Finn, you pry open the sarcophagus, and you see what looked like a knightly figure in like, fancy plate mail, very shined, some like gems, like definitely ornate, opposed to like ceremonial, opposed to worn. There's like a great sword, between it, and there's definitely a skeleton in this armor. But yeah, it looks like a sarcophagus of a knight of some sort. There's no real label on it. And it looks like you can see that there are marks on the sarcophagus. They're doing like restoration on it, on like some of the crumbling pieces. But yeah, you don't really find anything else
Gene, when Dizzy gets a bad feeling about this, can I just start opening up my back bag of holding and like retrieve my awesome like gun assembly?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll start doing that.
Yep.
Do the gems look like they're easily takeable?
I mean, you could definitely pry these gems out. They're not probably easily takeable, but with your skilled hands, they're takeable. Anything is takeable if you believe in yourself.
Well, all right. No, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So I want to check to make sure, like, I'm not going to activate any traps or, before I start prying these things out.
Make another investigation check now that you're looking at this specific thing. Otisesh. So you kind of look at the mirror. As you begin examining the mirror, your reflection comes back to you, except it is your shadow. Like everything looking into the mirror comes out in like this, like the room is gray. There's no color. It's all like a gray haze of black and white. And back at you is your shadow, like doing your same movements as you look at it. Yeah.
Do I have any idea what? Like, is this like divine? Is this magic?
You want
Like,
to make an Arcana check? You got any detect magic spells?
Good question.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this has to be an Arcana at least for now.
Okay. 14.
Something. Yeah, it's weird. This is definitely a magical effect. Like you shouldn't be seeing your shadow when looking into just a random piece of mirrored glass or obsidian. Like that doesn't make sense.
I was more trying to narrow down. Is it like divine? Like, is it? No idea.
Without like a way to see the strands of magic in the weave, it'd be hard for you to tell, or an ability to sense more than just your raw perception.
Got it.
Okay, Finn, what did we get?
I got a 17 on my investigation.
It does not seem trapped. Yeah, they look like there's some like rubies encrusted in certain parts of it. Some sapphires to make things like properly. Yeah, this looks like a knight, like a proper knight. You notice that there's a rooster helmet, like not like it's not like doesn't look like a rooster, but it has like a full frill and it's like golden armor. And it looks like a knightly figure.
All right, I'm gonna try and pry off what looks like the largest gem on there, just one at a time.
Yeah, I imagine you're trying to be quiet about this so no one really notices.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm looking to anybody watching me. It looks like I'm just kind of looking around, but I am definitely going to try and pry it out.
Make me a sleight of hand check. Is anyone else doing anything else while you guys are looking around?
I'm gonna do two things, but I'll let Rennie go first.
Okay. So after I say that I have a bad feeling, I'm gonna kind of just slowly pull my shield, pull out my javelin, and I'm gonna kind of look down, Gene, and I want to activate my divine sense, and I will kind of pop my eyes open and see my irises have changed color to like a light blue as opposed to their normal mottled yellow.
There is an undead in that mirror.
All right, I'm gonna point next to Otiseth. Otiseth, there is some manner of creature of undeath in that thing. Watch yourself. And then I would like to step next to Otiseth to give him help. And I don't know what Otiseth's going to do, but I want to be there to back.
So, as you step up, Otisesh, your shadow disappears. And it now reflects Dizzy's shadow.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still standing in front of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna put my hand on the mirror.
Okay. Yeah, this reminds you of that time that you were at the carnival and you saw weird things in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has a similar vibe. This is not the first magic mirror you've interacted with.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
that was your intro. That's right.
You put your hand on the mirror and it is ice cold to the touch.
I am going to cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. What are you trying to do with that?
Harm the undead thing.
You want to harm it. Okay. Make me a spell casting modifier check. So just roll a d20 and add likely your wisdom modifier.
Okay. I got an 8.
Okay. So you press your hand and it begins, to glow with this divine energy or whatever energy you get it from. Who knows? And as you touch it, you watch the shadow of Dizzy kind of like shake for a second. And the shadow is still about the same size as Dizzy. But for a moment, maybe it has longer hair. Maybe it is a slighter frame, maybe a feminine frame. And in a moment, it's back to looking like Dizzy. And I'll say, Dizzy, that looks like the curator for the moment. And then it was back to your shadow.
Well, I don't know what you did, Odiseth, but that that figure, that shadowy figure, they kind of looked like the woman that I met all those months ago. I don't know if she is trapped in there or she lives in there or something, but I get this really bad vibe from this mirror.
Finn, what did we get on that side of hand?
17.
I'm assuming no one's passive is 17. Cool. You can write down you have a 100 gold ruby. Okay.
All right.
Yep, no one seems to notice, and you can slip back down the sarcophagus so it doesn't look like it's been opened.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Since nobody noticed, I'm going to go for the second largest gem now.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I'm pushing my luck.
You're doing work. You're doing work. Okay. So yeah. Are you doing anything, No? Is Kaboom doing anything?
I just want to make sure I get all my gear on in case we run into some stuff.
You're geared up, but you see your friends are like looking at this weird mirror.
I think let's go over and see if I can make anything out of it from a magic standpoint.
Okay. Are you gonna cast detect magic, or are you just gonna make an Arcana check?
Just make an Arcana check.
Sure thing. Make me an Arcana check, please.
Wow. 7.
You do have a group inspiration if anyone would like to use it.
Let me try. Maybe I'm +5. I got to roll better than that, so I'll take it.
All right.
16.
Okay. Since you are more skilled in Arcana, there is something in this mirror. Because as soon as Kellen moves up, it's only Kellen's shadow that you see now. Your shadows are no longer in like the foreground or anything. You still see the reflection of the room in this black and white, like gray. And then Kellen's shadow is now standing in front of the mirror. Kellen, this is weird. You've heard of like, that like you can trap like elementals in gems, and there are items that can bound things. So maybe this mirror, this glass, is keeping this shadow inside, or whatever it is inside. And speaking of what Finn said about, does this remind you of anything? That lady who worked for the Shadow Cult had a lot of snake stuff. And they dealt with a lot of, you remember in a room, you fought a lot of shadows of ancient heroes. So maybe this is an item that contains something like that.
I have no idea like how to utilize it or anything like that.
If you cast Identify, maybe you can get better ideas, but you know that this is trapping something inside it. Or it's bound.
I definitely can do it. I can definitely cast Ritual Identify. So I'll start getting out my gear and working on that.
The shadow mimics all of your movements for the next 10 minutes. Make me another sleight of hand check, Finn. As you're just doing work.
$21.
Okay. you get a 25 gold ruby. But it is strange. It has a mark on it. Like inside, like in the interior of the gem, there seems to be some symbols. Not like
what kind of gem is it? Another ruby?
another
Or?
ruby.
Okay, I will take it. I'll look at it, and then I'll see my 3 companions like staring at this weird snake mirror,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, maybe I should go over there, and I'll start to close the sarcophagus.
Yeah. With practiced ease, you seal it. Yeah, so you can put strange marked ruby worth 25 GP. And you kind of head over, and as soon as Finn approaches, Finn, I have to see something. It is Corfin that the shadow of Corfin appears, not his true form. So, if that gives you guys any clues, assuming you guys are just kind of watching this mirror and waiting for Kellen to finish. Yep.
Real quick, Gene. I want to go check out this new wall that was just created.
Sure.
And Gene, I want to kind of dig around at the base of it. What I'm really looking for is how deep did they build the wall down?
Okay.
My theory here is, could I possibly dig under it if I were so inclined?
Yeah, I mean, since you have time and you can look, you don't need
Exactly.
You don't need to make a check. Whoever did the masonry work was a professional, and this is a solid wall. They have, they matched it to the original grading, and you do remember that she was like recreating coffins and repairing things. So like, this looks pretty professional. You're guessing it's probably about 1.5 to 2 feet of stone. Like,
Yeah, so it probably goes deep.
so someone put this wall here like with a purpose. Like, I don't ever want to access this again.
Right on.
For whatever
Okay.
that means. And as you guys kind of gather up, and are you doing anything like Corfin? Are you like making any weird moves at the mirror to like watch your shadow? Like,
Yeah, I'm sticking my tongue out. I'm flipping her off. Yeah, flipping it off. Yeah, that whole
and
thing.
it is exact mirror of you doing that. And then after about 10, 11 minutes, I'm assuming you're like wearing goggles and you're inspecting it with your tools, Kellen. And as you kind of look around, you see these sigils. And this is this seems to be it seems to trap an incorporeal being. This is some sort of, like, it binds an incorporeal being, and the way to free it would be to smash the mirror. But until that happens, if an incorporeal being like sees its own reflection in this shadow in this mirror, it gets absorbed in, and it seems like it can hold one creature of that type.
There's no way of actually telling what's in there, correct?
I'll say with identify, there is a shadow in there.
Which doesn't necessarily give me a clue of anything. Does the shadow like have any specific form that allows me to make an assumption as to what it is?
No, you could try interacting with you can tell that whatever's on the other side can like hear and technically interact. So like it can see outside its mirrorscape. It just cannot go through.
So I'm staying at the mirror now, but I see Corfin's reflection, right?
Which you're guessing that it could probably only mimic one humanoid creature shadow at a time, versus why it's not a perfect reflection.
Right. Now, is there anything like so the shadow is like a perfect Corfin? Is there any like dissimilarities, or I see it's anything that helps me in any way? I figured out what it is, or am I like on the wrong track here?
No, you believe that it is a shadow, but I will say make a religion check, and I'll say with this information, Otisesh, you can also make a religion check, and same thing, Dizzy, if you want. Anyone can make a religion check. This is kind of involving the information about knowing about undead.
I can't beat Otisesh's roll. That's pretty good.
Yeah, nat 20 for a 25.
Okay, so Otisesh, being that death is your specialty, this is an undead, but this is far more intelligent than any shadow you have ever interacted with. Shadows are generally like draining life force, memories of a person's last moments. They're generally like hungry for strength. Like this shadow is actively mimicking people. and that is strange to you. You know, you've dealt with undeath. You've had to put down a few creatures inside tombs. Like, this is not a strangity to you, but this creature being able to like mimic and like it and not like just trying to like lunge at you from the inside, that just is odd to you. That should not be. They are not intelligent, generally.
Right.
I'll basically relate to the group what I found. Yeah, something was captured into here, and really the only way to release it and really get a realization as to what it is would be to shatter the mirror. But it's your guess is as good as mine as to what could happen as a result of that.
Do we think that we could? Oh, good.
No, I had a question. You're saying, Kellen, that an incorporeal creature gets kind of sucked into it, which means that whatever spirit's in there was dead and then got sucked in, or it's just like because then that means there should be another body around here, maybe, or somebody died in here and then their spirit got sucked in.
I'll say with your identify, Kellen, you know that it would have to have been an already like spiritual creature. So like, this is probably not. This is not like a soul catcher situation of like if someone dies, it's like it would be like this could capture a ghost. This could capture, you know, maybe a vampire in gaseous form. You know, a wraith, something that is specifically an incorporeal being.
Okay.
Like it is built you're guessing to contain a shadow or a wraith or something that does not have a physical body, a specter even.
Okay. Well, no, I wouldn't really be expecting a body, so maybe it's some kind of a spirit of a person who died, or it could be something more sinister, certain things that I've only heard of but have never seen, like ghosts, specters, those kind of things.
All right. Then maybe we shouldn't go smashing it. I don't want to like get an angry spirit thing attacking us.
Or the spirit may be relieved that we release it. We're looking for Nadia Peace Pennies. Do we think perhaps that maybe she died? Could this be her spirit? I'm just kind of brainstorming aloud.
As you say that, the shadow shimmers to that same woman, a similar version of that woman, and she goes,
So it's Nadia, or it's trying to trick us into thinking it's Nadia.
Either way, Finn backs up. Like immediately, he just backs the hell up.
Can this shadow talk? Can you talk? I kind of yell at the mirror. No, but you can hear.
and it is not. It is still in the form of that halfling woman, a halfling woman.
I guess we could do a little bit of yes/no communication.
Can you hear us?
Is your favorite color blue? It's just the test question.
All right. Well, if you are who I think you are, have we met before? We have. But now you have to prove it because you could just be lying. Well, yeah, of course you're going to say you're not lying if you are lying. That's the oldest trick in the book. I'm not even that old and I know that trick. Let's see. Okay. When we met, did I tell you my name was the Bat? No. Did I tell you my name was the Fox? No. Did I tell you my name was the Badger? No. Did I tell you my name was the Gopher? No. Did I tell you my name was Dizzy? No. What name did I tell you then? I didn't tell you my name. Ah, very good. See, that's how we know that they're on the level. All right, here's the real question. That one was just for funsies.
There's definitely a shoulder and eye roll that is weird to see a shadow do.
So we fought, right? Because there was things that happened. the shadow wraiths. They showed up, and you got angry at us, and we fought. Yeah. See, now I don't trust you. You don't even. But when we fought, there were some people with me that did you some harm, and they kind of left you bleeding. But they didn't because I healed you. Do you remember that? No. I mean, I did heal you, though. Huh. I'm confused, guys. I don't think my method's working. Sorry.
DM, I would like to try telepathically linking to her.
Awesome. Could you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
You get +4, buddy.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Oh yeah, he's a
You're
real.
welcome.
He's not just a fighter with some healing powers anymore. He's a real paladin.
That is a 25.
So, as you connect to this being, you just you're hearing this like he's like it's like hunger, but you connect to this creature. It's like tenuous. Like you're pretty sure this thing shouldn't have a mind, but somehow it has a spark. What would you seem to have a connection for now, but you definitely feel like like you are trying to connect with another world, like through another dimension, and it is not a place that mortals should be.
Gotcha.
But you right now can talk.
I'm not trying to. I guess what I'm trying to do is not specifically talk, but trying to see as Dizzy is talking with it.
Okay.
If I'm actually hearing the woman, or if this is like a creature mimicking the woman, like Dizzy keeps saying, like.
So again, you don't get to read its mind. You can talk to it. It seems you have a telepathic bond to it.
Okay.
So you are not getting any thoughts off it, but it definitely seems like it understands language. So you likely can speak to it.
So I'll ask it. I'll actually be like, I'm in its head. I'm gonna ask you questions and see if it can actually talk. What is your name?
I am Lamont.
She says her name is Lamont.
I am not a she.
She is not a she.
Okay,
they are a day.
All right. I don't think this is the person that I met then, because I met a lady.
You hear a chuckle in your mind, Finn. I am her shadow.
All right, so their name is Lamont, and they are her shadow.
Oh, they're like two separate entities? They're not attached?
It's not. It's like I got like weird, ghost voices interference when you said that.
What happens if we let it out?
Yeah. What happens if we let you out?
I will do my best to find my mistress.
He's gonna try and find his mistress.
Oh, well, we want that too.
We want that too. So what you would?
If you let me out, I can tell you what happened.
He says that he could tell us what happened here if we let him out.
Feel like this is a trap. Like in my tiny goblin heart, I feel that this is a freaking trap.
I mean, Finn, you're in its head. Would you like to make an insight check?
Yes, I would.
Does seem rather suspicious.
I believe this thing wholeheartedly. I got a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's on a level.
All right, Finn. Well, I trust you.
Can I get another saving throw? Wisdom, please. I know your thing lasts for like 10 minutes, but or a minute.
That one.
Okay. Cool.
Well, it definitely has information, and I think we can pretty much handle most things. We've
You
proven
guys.
that we can
Oh boy, I'm
overcome
sorry, buddy. You guys begin to see blood begin to trickle out of Finn's nose and ears. You take 16 psychic damage. As
Wow.
you're feeling this backlash because your mind is essentially crossing into whatever this otherworldly prison is, and it's bad. You feel it like, and the connection is cut.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm done. I'm out of its head. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt.
Finn, are you okay, man? You're kind of bleeding out of your face holes.
I'll live.
All right, well, live better, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on you.
And I will say, you guys did not see the creature react like it took damage or anything. Like, it just is like standing there. It's no longer mimicking anyone's shadow.
Well, Kellen's gearing up his gun. Thoughts?
Heal 8, Finn.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you got a wicked headache, Finn. Like, that was bad.
All right, yeah. So let's free it or not. Let's make a decision, because damn, that hurt.
I say break it.
Yeah, all right. I guess let's everyone back up. I don't know what's gonna happen from this thing, but let's not be next to it when it cracks. And yeah, I will proceed to move, 20 or 30 feet away.
Okay.
Kellen will as well. Step back,
Yeah, same.
game, and fire a blast into it.
Okay. Boom. Just roll me a reliability check for your gun.
Okay.
Or just, roll an attack roll. It's not hard to hit. It's a stationary mirror.
Yep.
As long as you don't get a 1 or 2, I think you're fine.
I did not roll 1 or 2.
Right. So a loud noise is made, definitely downstairs. But
Crap.
as your bullet penetrates the glass, instead of like shattering, it like hits it, and it's like a ripple of water. And as the mirror ripples, following the waves, cracks, lines begin to, and the thing just essentially becomes dull. And stepping out of of this mirror is a shadow of a woman. She kind of falls to one knee, or and they stand up, and they point to this staircase.
Which staircase, Sheena?
The further one that you guys didn't explore.
This one? Okay. I'll kind of, all right. We'll follow you.
He shakes her head, or it shakes his head and goes, and you watch her jump into Corfin's shadow. Nothing. And
I feel weird.
you don't feel it. You say that, but your shadow's just moving along with you.
Yeah, no. I still feel weird. It's like I just saw something jump in my shadow.
If you guys make it toward the stairs, you notice it's like a cellar that leads up to like the outside.
All right, we should probably move because we're gonna have company.
You
real
begin
soon.
hearing the shuffling of guards moving down these stairways.
All right,
Let's go.
Yep.
let's go.
Okay, you guys. This is definitely not a very used cellar, but you guys actually no, it is technically it's used because it's for loading. So you open it, and it's definitely like a loading cellar, and you guys dip out, and with ease, you can slip into the city because the guards are investigating what's happening down here. Where would you like to go, and what would you like to do? The shadow, like once you get like in like a way where you can stop, out of Finn's shadow, it waves and then like ducks back in, so it's not like drawing attention.
That's definitely weird. Do we want to go somewhere? So, I mean, we can't really talk to it, and Finn making that connection again is probably not going to be good for his brain health.
I mean, but if we need to do it, I mean, if it helps us, I'm willing to do it. I could try again.
Or maybe we can find a quiet place and see if this thing can somehow communicate with us other than like waving at us.
Well, yeah, we have a suite, right? We have a private room we can, go to for a little while. All right, well, let's go there and let's see if we can't hear this thing's story and have it lead us to Nadia.
It like shakes with like vigor, and then slips back into Finn's shadow.
All right, mentally, I'm gonna call out to Reggie, like,
Yep.
"Hey, boy," and then I'll just kind of
Within
just in the air, so
within
he
a
can hear
few
me.
moments, Reggie appears. Could you just make me a perception check for Reggie?
Reggie, make a perception check.
Yeah.
You got it, boss.
'Cause he's
I want to say
he's a celestial dog, so he might spot the shadow in another person's shadow.
that's very fair. He has a perception of +3. Wow, an astonishing 5. Gee,
Okay, he's just happy to be here. He's just happy that you're alive
Jeez.
and everyone's good. He's super happy.
Love it.
All right, so you guys are making your way back to Freeman's inn. Okay.
Yep.
As you guys make your way, you're not accosted by anything. Reggie does go. I smell those things again. Do you want me to go after them?
Not this time, buddy. The last time they messed you up a little bit, and they are carrying some kind of disease that I don't need you to catch again.
Okay. They might be watching. They might be following us. It seems like there's a lot of them.
Okay, that is definitely fucking. Or I don't say fucking.
He's just like
That is definitely concerning.
he's sniffing and like his ears are like doing that like swivel and he's like looking around.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell everyone this. Like, hey guys, Reggie's smelling rats everywhere. They might be trailing us. Yeah. Yep.
If everyone would like to make a perception check, you absolutely can.
I fucking do now.
Well, I rolled a 5, so nothing's following me.
Yeah, you're good. All is
22.
All right.
17.
Cool. The number you need is 17. So if you got a 17 or above, yeah, there are beady eyes here and there throughout the alleyways. They may not be following you, but there's definitely a lot more rats than you saw. I mean, you did kill some rats, so maybe they're just watching you now, but it's weird. It's definitely not an appropriate amount of rats. But yeah, it's all right.
Freaking shadows and now rats following us. This fucking place is weird.
All
I
right.
don't like it.
So if what you say is true, we're not going to get any privacy, so anything we find out, somebody else may know about it.
Well, you guys do know you did seal up any mouse holes or rat holes.
Yeah. Well, I think it's about as private as we're gonna get, Kellen.
How many did we find in our room? Like 1 or 2? Gene?
I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you found two roll. Yeah.
All right, I'll take like I'll try and find like some rags, or hell, I'll even like take some of the pillowcases and I'll shove them into the holes just to see. That way, if something does try to come through the holes, we'll at least see some kind of movement or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you guys. I remember last game. You guys did. You did like block your holes. So you blocked it so that no creatures could get in. So you guys make your way back to the inn, and with ease, after kind of noticing those creatures, you fucking get in there and you get up to your room. You're let know that dinner will be up shortly. If you're ready, if you want to come back down to eat, by the Freemans, and as you get to your room and you lock everything up, put like some rags beneath your door hole so that something can't slip through. Lamont steps out of your shadow.
Oh, that's so weird.
And he's just looking. Reggie does bare his teeth.
I just kind of put a hand on Reggie to it's all right, boy. Lamont here is a friend of a friend, and hopefully he's going to help us find someone we're looking for. Now, Lamont, I'm guessing you can't hold any objects. You couldn't write out your story? No. Hey, Finn, buddy, pal, guy, friend. I think you're up, man.
All right, here we go, and I'm gonna try and get it into the.
Make me a wisdom saving throw. But this one's easier.
Don't forget that +4, my
I
man.
do have a +4.
Total 15.
Good. You don't hear as much static. Like it's nothing. It's no longer as crazy, but you're definitely touching a mind that you shouldn't. Like there's definitely a repellent to life here, but it goes good. I can hear you now, much clearer. My mistress was taken. She was kidnapped.
I'm telling you all this as he's saying.
Yeah, she was kidnapped by some strange folk I've never seen before. We were working down in the museum, and she got a new piece delivered from somewhere. And when she opened it, some rats came out of the case, and I was sucked inside it. And during that time, a scuffle ensued, but they cleaned it up before you came, and I believe they took my mistress. I don't know where she is, but I know they took her.
Who's they?
They were rats, and some of them became men, and some of them became man rats.
Oh, rat people, like full-on people rats.
Well, they were first rats, and then they became people and people rats.
I don't know
lot
about anyone else, but
there were a lot of rats.
Go ahead.
A lot of rats.
Okay, so we're looking for rat people who kidnapped Nadia.
No, they kidnapped Fingers.
Oh, whose Fingers?
Nadia's daughter. I am Nadia's shadow.
Oh, okay. So Nadia's dead, and you're what's left over?
Yes. I believe so.
Huh. All right, well, Norm's probably going to be disappointed about that. All right, so we got to find this Fingers. Huh. Trying to think, if you said these rats could shape shift, right? They could change their form.
I did not get a very good look before I was trapped, but I believe it was a crate full of rats, and then there were people that were also there, and then were also rat men. So maybe they shapeshift.
Oh, okay. So you didn't see a transformation. You just 1 point saw rats, 1 point saw rat people. Okay. I'm assuming they're shapeshifting.
Yes, and they were very quiet, and my mistress is very good at what she does, and so unfortunately they overwhelmed her.
I see. Do you know where the crate came from? I mean, I'm trying to think of how we can track this if you didn't really...
It had a marking on it, and he describes a mark upon it. Everyone can make me a history check because you were recently in the embassy district.
17.
9.
Okay. Then I'll say Kellen. He describes the mark, and you remember there were a few different marks surrounding the Freeport embassy, and the mark sounds similar to one of theirs, like a trading company. Like one of their trading companies seems to share this mark.
Seems to be affiliated with Freeport.
Okay. I mean, that's a start. This is good. It's good.
It's a lead, definitely.
Yeah. Now, I wonder, I don't know how, when new shipments come in, I don't know how they're tracked. I don't know if there's a logbook or something, but maybe we could figure out what ship or boat they came on. But again, I don't know if we're going to have to go to an embassy for that, or I don't know the process here.
I do not believe my mistress acquired this crate through the normal means.
I see. So logbook is right out.
Yes, she acquired this artifact, but it was strange. This thing seemed to be built to stop me.
I mean, I will say, as strange as you're saying, to me, it sounds kind of planned. Why would you bring an artifact, shades, and spirits if you didn't know one You bring one because
You
someone.
you keep cutting out. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, man. What I was saying is this sounds intentional. They brought this item here because they right. It sounds like your mistress was targeted. I don't know why. I don't know what purpose.
Well,
I mean, my guess is the cult of Tenebris, but
I would agree with that statement. I believe that it is likely. So, myself and the cult have a sorted past. My true mistress, she was part of the cult, infiltrating it, back a long time ago, and that is where I'm from. She somehow imbued some of her life to me, so that I was a free shade. It is a strange process. I don't really know how it worked, but I have now sentience, and I was her companion throughout helping fight the cult, knowing what they are and who they are. But when she passed, she bequeathed me in some way to her daughter to watch over her and protect her. And we did meet in the warehouse. I helped fight with you, but I was not there when you were fights. You just asked the wrong questions.
no, that's fair. I assumed that you were fingers, so that's on me. I apologize.
Well,
Lamont.
I'm sorry it is hard to be clear when I cannot speak.
No. I honestly, I kind of like Nadia's style of using shadows to fight shadows. That's
Finn,
it's
could
kind
I
of
get
clever in
another
its own
wisdom
way.
save, please?
Dirty 20.
Cool. You're good. You're holding it again. You got this weird feeling because you're like, I'm touching a mind that isn't a mind, but you know with the training you recently had, you're holding it together. You're not feeling any of that pain. Again, the static is way less. You're no longer crossing dimensions. But again, you also realize this is not a thing that you can permanently do because it takes effort for you to establish these links. But it's currently happening.
Yeah. I'll say that you guys kind of see me like I am definitely like sweating, as I'm like trying to hold this connection. I'm like, yeah, we should figure out what we want to do. I can't hold this forever.
I don't know, Otis, Kellen, you guys are pretty smart. Anything you can think to ask?
Is there some way to bind it so that we can continue to speak with it longer term?
It definitely. You see it kind of like. It definitely. You feel a tenseness because it does not like the term being bound.
I don't feel that, right?
No, only mentally. Finn gets that. Like, I'll just fucking run. Like, kind of like a. I don't want that.
Yeah, it doesn't like to be controlled or contained or anything. This is fine, but I just can't do it forever.
I can stay with you. I can aid you. I can also, now that I'm free, I can go search for her. I can get into a lot of places others can't. Unfortunately, if you wish to travel during the day, I would need to join someone's shadow.
I mean, it sounds to me like maybe we go to the Freeport embassy. I mean, if this was done illegally, though, the embassy is not going to, they're not going to verify that it was done. I mean, do we go down to the docks and start looking at boats and crates? That seems, I don't know, kind of.
I mean, where would rats be? If these rat creatures are rats, would they need a place to hole up? A nest? A ship? I am not familiar with a lot of the mundane things that happen. I listen to a lot of things.
Like I guess like sewers and probably like the holds of ships, but I don't know if they'll probably stay there.
I mean, this is a large city. It has likely many sewers. That might not be a bad place to begin looking.
I agree. The sewers seem like the most likely hiding place,
Uh,
particularly
yeah.
if there are rats of unusual size or humanoid
Uh,
rats.
Sewers are kind of smelly, though. I'm not really a big fan.
Well, maybe we could get
ROUSs?
Reggie to sniff them out.
Yeah, Reggie's got a good sniffer, but I don't think ROUSs are real. I don't know about that.
Reggie just looks at you like we just fought rats my size. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I mean, I guess the sewers is the way. Yeah, I guess I was just hoping maybe to narrow the search. Maybe let's try to find an entrance near the docks, right? It's probably an entrance and exit point they might use.
I mean,
Or maybe even just near the museum.
that would be a place. I mean, we could also your dog. You might have a good sniffer. Maybe if we head back toward the museum and search or smell, maybe you'll see that she was dragged off. I know she's a bit small, so. But if they were rats, they might have a certain dander. I'm not sure. I don't.
Oh,
I don't
hey!
smell.
Oh, jeez. I'm so stupid. This Fingers, you know where she lives, right?
Yes.
Could you guide us there? And if we got an article of her thing, Reggie, if he has a scent, there is no stopping her.
I will warn you, it is heavily trapped.
I mean, listen, I'm not looking to rob her. I understand what you're saying. I'm just, I don't know. I mean, maybe even favorite scarf she wears to work?
All right. I mean, we could do that. That sounds reasonable. She has a few safe houses. I don't know which one you'd like to go visit.
The least trapped.
We could go to the guard barracks then. She moonlights as the captain of the guard.
Moonlights as the captain of the guard?
Yes, she both runs a criminal network here and also the guards.
Now, wow, that is a woman of multitudes.
I like her.
I guess you might not know this, Lamont, but do the captain of the guard know that she's missing, or how long ago it happened?
Time is hard for me to understand. But it was a time ago.
Yeah, I'm going to the guard barrack. I'm not opposed. I'm just saying going there and going, hey, we might know where the captain of. Don't ask why.
Oh, wait. He kind of like for a moment you feel like a static again, and he goes, "Sorry, Nadia was the captain of the guard. I believe Fingers freelances as a detective for them."
Oh. Okay.
Under a different alias, of course.
Okay, that honestly, all right. I feel better then about going. We could say maybe we're associates of Fingers or something.
She probably has a desk there or an office that we could probably slip into. That's the least trapped place you asked, because it's public.
All right,
but it might have.
All right, Lamont. Honestly, I think that's great. That's a good one. If you want to sever the connection, so Finn start bleeding out of his brain, that's probably fine for now.
All right, and I sever the connection.
Okay, yep, and it kind of, sweat beading on your forehead. It's long.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Let's. Wow. Okay. We're gonna go to the guards. Okay.
I'll be honest here, Finn. I don't want to. Listen, this might be best as a solo mission for you, right? You, Finn, you can look like a lot of different people, right? I can kind of do that, but not in the way that you can do that. You could go there and say you're Fingers' secretary, another detective that works with Fingers, whatever, and maybe get access to her desk, because we don't need anything crazy, I mean, again, if we find something useful, great, that's icing on the cake. But again, if we just need a scent, we could then grab something that has her scent, you return to us, we then go to the sewers, up and up and up.
Yeah, I could try. I'll give it a shot.
Listen, I'm not saying leave you out in the lurch, buddy. I don't know if 4 random people showing up to the guard barracks as convincing as one associate of.
I think that's fair. I could basically, I guess, since it sounds like she's been gone for some time, I could probably tell them something along the lines of like, I'm here to pick up her personal effects because we don't know where she is, but she was working on some cases and there's possibly some things she left here that we might need, something like that.
Oh man, hey, do you want to bring Reggie with you? I have actually a funny idea.
I mean,
right?
I'll also add this, Finn. If you knew what she looked like, you could probably just appear as her.
I don't though.
That's true, but if you could figure out a way to figure out what she looks like, you could always try to.
I mean, Finn, can you read my mind? Because I know what she looks like, or I saw a version of what she looks like. If you could look at my brain, and I stare at you really hard and concentrate.
I won't be able to look into your brain until tomorrow. But yeah, we could try it. Like if we want to get a rest and figure it out, the specifics tonight, and then in the morning I could look in your head, and then I could try and figure out what she looks like.
Neat. I will say an alternative idea I had, which I honestly think is kind of hilarious, is you go in there as random person 16, right? And you bring Reggie with you, right? We'll get him a leash, we'll take off his armor, so he's just a dog, right? You go in there with Reggie, and you say, hey, this is Fingers' dog, and Fingers, I was dog sitting for them, and they haven't showed up to pick them up. Do you know where they are? Oh, well, that's their desk over there. Oh, well, hey, can I check out their desk? See if they left a note to see where they say they would be? Right? I don't know. I just thought of it, and it was funny in my head.
I mean, look, we need plan A, and then when plan A goes off the rails, we need a plan B, and then when that goes off the rails, we go plan C, which will probably be plan A again, but we can't call it plan A because it's got a stink on it. So
yeah. All right. No, but honestly, I think you're right. Let's have a rest. You look a little pale, buddy. So maybe a meal and a little bit of liquid in you is probably the best call. And then let's set out in the morning, and then be in the sewers by the afternoon. Yay!
Yeah.
The shadow kind of taps its lips, and then it makes eye contact with you, Finn. And it goes, and it begins signing, and you recognize it as Thieves' Cant.
All right, that's better than me being in your head.
And
go ahead.
And I imagine since you know all the secrets, I can understand this sign language. It goes, do you wish me to scout or go somewhere to investigate and come back to you tomorrow?
I relay that to everybody.
I mean, sure. I guess what would we want it to scout? Maybe possibly some sewer locations. Do we want it to scout some of the safe house locations? I don't know.
How quickly can it move?
It's pretty fast. it doesn't.
Yeah. Perhaps it could narrow down the areas of the sewers for us more quickly than we could traverse them ourselves.
You get sewers are dark. I can do that.
All right, and I will sign back to it. Go do that.
You notice that there's a crack in one of the boards, and it just sinks through it.
That's fucking weird.
And so I imagine you guys are gonna get dinner. So why don't we take a break? Cause I gotta use the bathroom. So we're gonna take a break, and we'll be back. Let's say 9:25, and we'll probably wrap around 10. So
9:25 sounds good.
See you guys in a little bit.
All right.
Bye. And I added your ad, Norm. So look at that.
Thank you.
All right, we are back. Okay, so you guys successfully take a long rest. Hey, Sam, by chance, do you remember what you asked Daristix to look into for you? 'Cause I didn't write it down because I'm a bad GM.
I don't even remember. I like don't even remember the concept of asking for anything.
He was like, "Can I do anything for you?" And then he sent scouts out, and I don't know, was it to look for Nadia on your behalf? I don't remember, and so I wanted to clear that up.
Oh, what did I ask the like embassy guy for?
Yes. It was so long ago. It was like a month ago. I know, you're digging deep. If you think of something you wanted him to do, just tell me.
Why did we come to this town?
You came here to find Nadia. So
Find
I
Nadia,
do have in my notes looking for Nadia of the Shadows, but I don't know if that was just me jotting down a concept or that's what
Yeah.
you actually asked the embassy
I
guy.
think I probably asked the embassy guy
Cool.
that. Let's
Okay.
just go with that because
Cool.
I'm never going to remember
Cool.
anything. else.
Did I?
So, Gene, we just had a long rest. You said.
Yeah, you get a long rest.
Cool.
And
Good. I'll get my spell slot.
Things
back.
are great. Did I give you? I gave you the money totals for Chance returning with money or no? Okay, cool. I have that.
No, we just set that up yesterday.
Okay, so in the morning, when you guys wake up for breakfast, there is a small orphan child, Chance, kind of eating breakfast at a table. He's definitely getting like the eyes from the Freemans. They're eyeing him, but apparently, as you guys come down, he like waves a signal. Do you guys wave back? Cool. And then you see the fucking Freemans just like get that like face of like they're mad that he actually was right about knowing you. And you guys head down. You know, get like a small porridge. There's like some thick bacon to go with it, and some biscuits. And there's like coffee and waters and some morning ales if people want. And you see Chances kind of fucking scarfing down a meal. And he just kind of like waves you over to a larger table that you're sitting at. He goes, "All right, so I got you your prices. I got you some decent stuff." So he puts.
That was fast.
Oh, I know some people. I mean, you didn't get the best prices for it. It was you probably could have sold it if you wanted to not waste time. But I told you I could get it in like a day or two. And he puts down 3 pouches.
What do we got? I'll pick up a pouch.
There seems to be a heavier pouch, a really light pouch, and a decently heavy pouch. Which one are you picking up?
I pick up the medium pouch.
Okay. You open it up. It has a ton of fucking copper in it.
Okay. And I kind of like,
So it has 106 copper in it.
Okay. 106 copper.
So we can write this down.
Yeah, I had to sell it, and then I had to convert all the prices, so you guys all get to suffer with the weird numbers you're about to get. Then the smallest pouch has 17 silver pieces in it. And then the largest pouch has 131 gold.
All
right, give me a sec. Let me write it down.
As Dizzy's looking through the pouches, can I make an insight check on the kid to see if he's like watching Dizzy because he actually has more money and he's not giving it to us?
You can make an insight check, and I'll also let you just make me a history check with advantage after that.
All right, insight is 13.
Mm-hmm.
And the history is a 21.
Cool. So you're imagining if he had to fence it quick, he probably got like 1/4 to 1/5 of what it's worth, because you know that it's worth way more if he would have sold it at half value. But clearly, to move it and no questions asked, he probably fenced it at about a 1/4 value. So that's why you got so little. He likely took a bunch off the top. But he doesn't seem like he's concerned about giving that back. But he definitely skimmed. You can definitely tell he skimmed off this top. But to move it that quickly, yeah, you're guessing he gave you fairish prices.
Okay, that's all I really wanted to find out.
Yep. You got about one. Yeah, I measured out. You got about 1/4 value to what you were selling.
Fair enough. We were trying to get rid of it fast.
Yeah, that was definitely the goal. Can I just confirm 131 gold, 106 copper, 17 silver?
Correct.
Okay. I'll do math on that later. I don't feel like doing it this second.
Yep. And I will delete all the stuff. Because I had that for you. Boop. Done.
All right. Well, I mean, this will certainly help. Thanks, Chance. This is pretty good on your part.
Well, I told you I would assist, and I am your guide, and you pay me money for that. So I want to do my job, and so if you need more guidance, I am here for you. Also, you got me breakfast, and that was great.
You earned it.
Yeah, you definitely did. Hey, do you know anything about this symbol? Have you seen it around? And I'm going to show him the symbol that was showed to us.
Okay. He looks at it. Yes. Oh, well, let me see. Oh, let me roll that dice in the actual dice tray. I will spend the DM Inspirato. Oh, that's a way better. That's a good thing I spent that. Okay. Yeah. So he starts thinking. He goes, "Yeah. That's one of the trading vessels. Came in a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two. I'm not quite sure, but I know they're from Freeport, and that there's always a bit of tensions when Freeport comes to town. They're kind of rivals. Some call them pirates. They're generally a goblinoid nation, so they're like you. Yeah, like they got like bugbears, hobgoblins, goblins, orcs sometimes. Generally, people refer to, or at least these people, they kind of like gestures as like the royal we of the room, gesture them as the monster nation, and that, yeah, Freeport's heavy about trade and don't get caught breaking laws because they punish really severely.
Got it.
But that is definitely a symbol of a ship.
Do you know what ship it what ship it came from?
Yes. It is called the Boiling Cauldron.
The Boiling Cauldron.
I think they're doing some sort of hag theme, but I'm not really sure. But the ship's kind of gross, so I don't really go near it.
What do you mean?
No,
it's
that's
gross.
Oh, they like make it look like it's full of refuse and lots of stuff, and it like has a fog that leaks off it that's like green. Apparently, it's some sort of magical illusion, but I don't want to breathe it in.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chance. That's actually very, very helpful. It's been a pleasure doing business. I can't think of anything we need from you at the moment.
Oh,
Unless you know any good entrances to the sewers. Well, we have a person for that, but
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, normally I would use the sewers, but there's been like a lot of construction happening recently. All over the town, blocking things off. I don't know if you noticed that there's some like new masonry here and there. So we've been kind of staying away because it seems like they're doing a lot of construction around and there's a lot of people. But yeah, we've kind of staying away from the sewers recently. Also, some kids haven't come back. It's been real weird.
What area specifically, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah, he goes, well, obviously not in this part of town. Well, this is this is the fancy part. But if you head toward the naval area, which is 3 on your map, uh, that's kind of the naval headquarters. We used to kind of hang around the Boatman's Tavern and some of the sewers out in that way, but those alleyways. But the Commoners Market seems to be doing okay. But like any of these inner buildings, a lot of construction's going on, and they're like reinforcing their underground areas. Apparently the waterways might be damaging things. I don't really know, but I've heard some millings about that. They're doing a whole infrastructure overhaul.
Did you say that children went missing?
I mean, some of my friends went missing, but I mean, there's a disease going around, and they go missing all the time.
And no one goes to figure out what happened to them?
We're not the people. People look to make sure they're okay.
Some friend.
They don't. I I don't know how to explain it, but we are treated as criminals and miscreants, and we don't really have family. So we're making our way around this place, but not everyone agrees with it, and we try to definitely stay away from the God area. That's a place we don't really go down. We don't go to the crossroads because that's generally where a lot of the city watch hangs out. And then if you look at 24 on your map, I believe that is where the city guard operate out of. But we stay away from there, so we kind of keep to the west end of the city, and we kind of circle some of the islands here or there. But I would say if you're looking for that ship, it might be on one of the northern docks by either the naval headquarters, probably not there, but it could be, or by 27, which is here. This is the customs office, so a lot of trade might have to go through there. So any of those docks up there might be worth looking into if you're looking for that ship. They might be here still. I'm not sure.
All right, that might be just worth walking them down there, taking a look, see if it's still there.
Really? You
All right.
you let me know what. Yeah, I mean, I'll be around. You want me to check in every once in a while here, once a day, like mid bell? What you talking?
I'd like to know, like, if you hear about anybody else going missing, like what area that might be, because that might be helpful.
All right. I mean, I'll see. I know that, like I said, they say the disease is under control, and I haven't heard anyone dying of it. So I hope it's not one of mine. Could have happened. They wouldn't care either. But I'll look. I'll see what my boys can look into and see if they hear anything. Yeah, give me a day or two, and I'll see what I can find out.
All right.
And he kind of nods, finishes his breakfast, and phew, gets out.
All right. Yeah, the ship. That sounds sketchy as hell, right? Like the ship has got fog off of it, and they're rivals of this place. That sounds like a bad recipe for what we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, that ship might be their home base, right? The sewers, who knows what kind of operations are doing. And as much as I want to kind of check that out, I think finding fingers has got to be.
No, I agree, but it's good to know, like, if we don't turn anything up, like now we've got some leads in different places.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Yeah. Oh, so the shadow has not returned yet. So I don't know what you guys would like to do. It is also morning, and it told you that doesn't do really well during the day. So.
I will expend. I'll tell you, hey Dizzy. I can kind of look in your head and see what fingers looks like now.
Yeah,
but just it might feel a little weird, so I'm gonna apologize. It's not gonna hurt you, but it's just might feel weird because I'll be looking in your head.
I put my fingers in my ears.
If that makes you feel better, by all means. And Gene, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts with my coin.
Okay.
Would I have to dig deep, or can I just read the surface and see what she looks like?
I will say I'm gonna say you're gonna have to dig deep because you have to
Alright.
like see the image and study it versus like he could think about it and it could be a flash. So
All right. Okay. So it might. So you could choose to fail the wisdom saving throw, Dizzy.
Yeah, if that's okay, Gene, I
Yeah,
will.
absolutely.
Like I
You
am
know it's-
allowing entry.
he has fully warned you it is coming, so you could be
Yep.
like,
I
okay.
just kind of I think super hard and just allow it to happen.
Yeah.
All right, and I go looking specifically for her
Yep.
image.
While Lamont described her as having black hair, this is a red-headed halfling. You know, cute little freckles. Definitely dressed in kind of like a Indiana Jones-esque outfit of like leather armor. Definitely looks like when you saw her, she was like dressed as like a curator and like fixing things and then you see an image of her in a warehouse, in a dark warehouse where she's like draped in shadows and definitely like a very roguey outfit. And she looks almost identical to the memories you have of when you've had memories of Nadia. But there are slight differences that you pick up. Because you've seen Nadia before in your when you've had those flashbacks when you guys were originally questing. And so she looks close. You can definitely tell a little bit younger. And it kind of like flashes through these different images and you get a pretty good profile of what you think she would look like. You don't know what kind of outfit she would wear, like going to the precinct. You don't know if she goes under a false name, but you at least have a perfect identity of what she looks like, and you also know what she sounds like.
All right. Perfect. So after I finish doing that, I'll actually very quickly like take out my sketchbook and start sketching her in the book, so I can have a better idea. Like I can just look at the detail and just kind of get a better idea for it. All right, Dizzy. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, good. I was trying really hard. Whew.
Yeah, that's perfect, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, and Dizzy, you do feel like an intrusion into your mind. It is a weird feeling, but you knew it was coming. But it's just like, oh, yeah. It's like it's more invasive than Reggie. So like, it's not fully unused to, but it's like there's something.
Right.
It was like I was going through your mind library and just picking around in your brain.
There were very few books. All right.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So what would you guys like to do? It is the morning. It is all yours. There are definitely places you can investigate or just shop or do whatever. The city is yours.
Gene, I'll take the leather that we recovered recently
Okay.
and see if I can do preliminarily working out some designs with the skills that I have to see what I can do with this piece.
Sure. What skill proficiencies do you have? What are you
Oh.
proficient in?
Well, alchemy supplies, that's pretty useless. Herbalism's useless. Thieves' tools, useless. So basically, I'm a tinker and a wood carver. So it really doesn't necessarily fit in the leather. So my thing is, what can I use in my tinkering or wood carving skills that I could use? Maybe somehow, maybe put this over something, maybe to make a shield or something like that. That kind of a.
So knowing your knowledge skill set, you think you could come up with a cool idea for it, but you don't think you could implement it. So you might want to find an armorer or someone who could work with these materials.
Okay, so I at least have a plan of what I can do there.
Yeah,
right?
you think it could be used for many different things. It seems to have the properties, or at least what you learned when you kind of identified the hide, is that it like reflects magic, or at least makes someone better able. So it could maybe be made into a hide shield that could help with that. It could be made into any armor that can be cured of leather or something.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go out into the city to investigate the areas where there might be some armorers and get an idea of what such crafting would cost.
Okay, so I will keep that noted. Does anyone else want to do something?
I honestly, Finn, I mean, how confident are you in trying to get into this guard barrack and stuff like that?
Well, I'm gonna have to be very vague because we don't know like if they know her actual name because it sounds like
Right.
she's kind of playing them a little bit. But I also have to come up with an excuse why I haven't been around for 6 months. So maybe me taking Reggie as fingers would be a good idea, just so I could be like, yeah, no, I was on a job. It went south, but this is my new investigation dog or whatever. I think I'll pull it off, but I'd like to have a little bit of backup, and Reggie I think would be good for that.
Yeah, and if Reggie's with you, I can be outside or nearby, and we can be in contact. So I don't know. I don't know if things go really, really badly. I can make a distraction. I can do something outside to maybe help you get out if it gets real fucky.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I think I could do this. You had a really good picture of her in your head, so it's good.
Okay. Then Finn, I'll back your play. Reg, I'm sorry, buddy, and I start taking off his necklace of teeth and his. I make him not.
He starts trying. He tries to play with you like he thinks you're trying to do a game.
Oh, buddy, come on!
He tries to like tackle you and like put paws on you while you're like undoing straps, and he's like, he's not cooperating, but you get it done.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Odathesh, are you going to be doing anything specific?
I think the main thing I want to do is go back to the embassy and check in and see if they've found anything that would be of use to us.
That sounds great. So we'll take it in a row. We'll start with you, Norm. So asking around town, or asking some people, or you could catch Chance before he leaves, because this is an idea you have. He goes, well, there's a dwarven smith. What's his fucking name? Where I go find it? Oh, there we go. It's the gold vein smithy. He's a bit of a weird person because he works in a lot of different materials and runes that people don't really understand. But is the gold vein smith. He does smithing, but he also does leatherworking. He kind of like your all-around supplier of armaments and armor. And that is at 16. So I will
16.
Which is right here. So that would be your main, if you want someone who works with special goods and can pretty much make you anything. If you're looking for weird stuff, like I said, Brackle Brineworth Antiques, always a great place to look for some strange things and oddities. But he doesn't really make things; he just finds things.
I'll add that on my strange things second. That just sounds very fascinating.
Yeah, that's 18, which is all the way down there. It's already labeled.
Okay, so we'll do a 16 then an 18 then.
All right. So you make your way, from 7, which is the Freeman's Inn. You get into the main district. You kind of cross a bridge, and you head over, or you don't cross the bridge, but you stay in this district. And you head over to this large smithy. You hear the hammering and clanking. You hear people arguing in Dwarvish all about it. And you recognize something really strange, Kellen. You see the smithy is covered in weird runes that you recognize. They are the similar runes to what your brother uses. They are giant runes. All throughout this smithy. And
that's interesting.
As you kind of make your way up, you see this dwarf or human. It's hard to tell. This guy's like 5'10", but built like a dwarf. So it's really strange. And you see a vein of gold as a symbol with a hammer and a sword crossing it, and it says Gold Vein Smith. And this guy is yelling at a bunch of different different dwarves who are younger, very gendered, and all doing different smithy. You see there are drying racks. There's just like all sorts of armaments and armor set up, and this guy kind of is just standing in the middle, yelling at people. He goes, "Ah, what are you
So I
doing?"
think so. I think this guy's like the same race as my brother because basically dwarves aren't really that big.
This guy looks like he's weird because he is human height but dwarven proportions. So he's wider than most humans should be, but he has a full beard and he's towering over like his friends who are like 4 foot, 4'4", 4'10" at the highest maybe, or like somewhere like 3'8". Like they're not huge, but he is built and he's just like muscles, apron, no shirt, long beard that's burnt at the edges, and he's also covered in tattoos that are also similar runes. His arm, his like leather apron has this like weird rune on it that looks like a fire rune, like, and he's just like kind of pointing at people, and people are working, and as you kind of approach, he goes, "Ugh," and like turns around because he clearly wasn't. He was just kind of telling people what to do. He goes, "What can I do for you, wee one?"
Hello, my good man. I'm doing a little bit of research and I have a piece of material here, and I wanted to discuss with you what could be crafted with it, whether it's a shield or a suit of armor, and kind of get your opinion.
All right, well, you came to the right place. I'm Thrag Goldvein, and this is me
I'm
shop.
sorry, Bragg.
Thrag,
Thrag.
Thrag, Goldvein.
Okay.
Yeah, what can he kind of like? He just like sweeps off a table that has like weird knickknacks and things that he was clearly working on as like side projects or like some extra pieces that were broken off or like sawed off, and he just clears the table. All right, well, let's see what you got.
Okay, I'll reach into my pack and kind of get the leather, and I'll kind of unfurl it, open it up, and then take out little pieces of paper with my various designs,
Ugh.
and kind of show them what I wrote here. And yeah, I'm not really proficient with handling leather, but I understand like basic things of wood carving and tinkering. I'm good with a lot of different tools. But actually crafting this into something I'm looking for, I have an idea, but I just don't know how to accomplish it. So that's why I'm here today.
So he kind of like picks it up, looks at it, he smells it, this deep smell, and he kind of puts it back. Ugh, warghide. Spits on the
Yeah.
ground.
Have you ever worked with warghide before?
I mean, I've made boots out of it just to show them who's boss. But this is weird. He kind of like looks at some of the runes. Those look like goblinoid runes. I generally work with giant runes, but oh, here, let me see. He kind of like starts pulling out some like different like clips and tongs and like starts like stretching and pulling. Kind of see like the tense, like, how well this could work. He goes, well, do you know what it does?
Yes, I'm aware of the magical properties.
Could you tell them to me?
Yes, it seems to have an effect that it would reflect or prevent magic from harming the person that's protected by it.
All right. You need to keep those magical marking. You need to keep as much as that rune work intact, I guess. I mean, if we dry it, we could stretch it. We could definitely make a hide shield. That wouldn't be too hard. We could easily make hide armor. Honestly, that's probably the easiest, least amount of work. I could probably turn it into different forms of leather or studded leather, depending on if you had special metals you wanted to use for the studs to make it fancy or work with it. I don't really know. Let's see. I mean, I could make you a leather scale mail, but I don't know how protective it would be comparatively to a metal scale. If the hide works out, but again, I guess I could make you a cape. Do you want a fur cape?
Oh, that is interesting, actually. Well, let's start with the easy stuff right now. So, if you fashioned it into a cape, what would you be looking at as far as preparation, costs, your time. That
I mean, it depends. I don't know how the enchantment would stay or keep or not. I think.
Can I give him any information regarding that or not
Yeah,
really?
as you kind of like, he starts working through it. He goes, I imagine it would help them versus spells. So it would protect you against spells, right? That's this basic function, is what I'm getting from it. He goes, here,
Right.
let's test it. So he like stretches it out on a rack. And he goes, you got magic?
I got magic.
Throw some magic at it.
I'll hit it with a firebolt.
Okay. Roll an attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
As you charge up your gun, and he's eyeing your weapon. He's like, all right. As he seems to be very interested.
I rolled a looks like a 1.
Oh.
I say a 9 and a 27, but I'm +8, so it's 1's a 1.
Okay, but you rolled natural 1. But
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
say
yeah.
this is not going to give a malfunction, because this is a disadvantage due to you're using your firebolt cantrip and you're not actually shooting your gun. So you fire it, and it goes, and as it goes to hit the like stretched hide, it glances off with no fire to be there. Huh. Kind of like he nods. All right. Well, I imagine that it would help protect a wearer, depending on what you got it. I could fashion it into a shield. I could fashion it into a nice mantle. I could probably fashion it into an armor. Like I said, it really depends what you want. I can only probably give you one of those things.
Right. As far as the armor, if you compared it to the armor that I'm wearing now, you think it would give me better protection or greater protection?
What are you wearing?
I'm looking right now, actually. Backpack. Medium, just regular scale mail.
I mean, if the hide is strong enough, it could probably. I mean, I could probably treat it with some. I could probably treat it with some runic craft and maybe some alchemy, and I could probably make these leather scales as hard as yours.
Okay.
I don't know if it would protect you any better physically, but it would definitely protect you from magic a bit, I think.
So basically, I kind of, if the cape was worn properly, I would get the same benefit as far as protecting against magic. Is that right?
I don't know. It really depends. I think part of when you're crafting something, you imbue it with part of yourself, and so what the intent would be, I think, would depend. I imagine it would probably have a similar effect to the cape, but anyone could wear a cape. If I made the armor, only you could wear the armor, or someone could wear it. Only one person could wear it.
But if it's a cape, it could be me or anybody that I choose to give the cape to.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel that kind of looking at it, if you want to get the benefit of the hide, I think how the runes are crafted on it, it was probably the creature was attuned to its power. So I'm imagining that people are going to have to invest their energy to kind of keep the enchantment going.
And that's regardless of what garment you make, is that right?
I believe so.
So let's say if we had it crafted into a cape, what would we be looking for as far as your time and efforts to get this done?
I mean, all right. Let me look at this. All right. He kind of starts sketching some ideas out, and I need to just quickly look up an item. It goes. It's definitely gonna take time. I mean, it's already enchanted, so that's useful to me. So that helps. All right. It's okay. All right. It kind of looks around. Well, this is a very powerful enchantment, so this would probably take me a week or two to really make sure that it's done well, and time, effort, say 750 gold.
Let's see. So that's for the cape option. If you made it into armor with about the equal protection, what are we looking for? That about similar? Would it be more expensive or less expensive?
Hold on. What? All right. It goes. All right. If I were to make it, into the shield, it would have a much more powerful effect. and that would be about 1,500 gold.
1,500.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
And I'd honestly say probably armor. If you want, I could make the armor like the cloak, and it would only be about 750. Or I could give a similar effect of the shield, and it would be 1,500.
So let me see. 750 for the scale. The first quote you gave me was for the cape, right?
Yeah. So think of it as a doing less with it. I can do a lesser enchantment, or if you pay me more and give me more time, I can do a greater enchantment.
Okay. So I'm looking at 1,500 for the greater enchantment.
Correct.
Okay.
But the cloak form can only be the lesser enchantment. The mantle can only be the lesser enchantment. Armor or a shield can be the greater enchantment. But any of those could also have the lesser enchantment if you want.
I see. Okay. Do I have a sense of what the lesser enchantment? I guess it just would protect against magic to a greater degree, right? Whatever that is.
Correct. So whatever that means. If you want some ideas, think of it as one of them will probably give you advantage against spell saves.
Mm-hmm.
And the greater one will also have another effect against people attacking you with spells as well.
Okay. Is there any items in trade, or is there anything of my services that I could provide that could maybe tease the price down a little bit?
You got any items of trade or what you can do?
Well, I'm a tinkerer by trade, so I can handle pretty much most materials. I'm proficient in creating explosive effects. I have this item here, and I pull out like a wand. It allows you to find secret and hidden things. Very useful.
All right. Well, here we can negotiate that, and we'll talk about that. And so we can talk about that off screen. But let's keep going because I realize it's 10 o'clock, so I want to get this.
Yes, it is.
I want to wrap a little bit and try to get things going. So we'll do Sam's real quick for Otisesh. So you make it back to the embassy. Again, you are stopped. Another check-in. You say the right phrase. You are let in as they keep their guard up, but they still treat you reverently. Darrowsticks is behind his decks. He stands until you sit, and then he sits. And he goes, my lord, so it seems like some of my scouts have been searching around for this Nadia figure. While they have not found a specific person, it seems like there is an unbalance in this city. Apparently, there was some figure who had shadowy leanings that some of our less scrupulous members had contact with, and they have disappeared. She was apparently a fence and a smuggler, and apparently about a month ago, she has went missing. So certain goods and services could no longer be provided. She apparently locals a tavern called the Dead Man's Inn. Or at least that was a meeting spot.
Who has filled the void in her absence?
Apparently no one has currently filled the void because people are up in arms with the disease and these rats that have infested the city.
Do you know anything of the rats?
Humans are
Where they might
filthy.
be found?
He kind of like nods, and one of the grung kind of like hops up. It seems like, my lord, that we have been hunting and eating well. They have been all over. They seem to be crawling through alleyways, attacking small cats. They have attacked some of our kobold brothers, but we have fended them off. We have captured some, if you wish.
What nature of rat have you captured?
I will show you, my lord. And he kind of like he leads you to a what looks like a fucking kobold den. It's just like piles, a little bit of filth, but organized filth. And you see like a cage with like a pile of rats in it. And you do see some rat corpses aside.
Like normal rats.
Yeah, but there's looking around, you see a larger rat in the middle,
Okay.
just kind of like trying to like move, but they're caged.
Yeah.
And the grung just kind of like rubs his hand across the cage, and you watch the rats just kind of like start twitching and like just chilling out.
I see.
And he just reaches in and eats one. And they seem very placid once he kind of puts his like grung secreted poison upon them.
Got it. If you come across any information as to where they may be breeding, any concentration of where they might be coming from, please let me know.
I will take care of that personally, my lord. I will go find some of my brothers, and we will begin scouring the waterways. And you see 2 or 3 grung kind of like get together, and they dive into that underwater passage.
Great.
Okay, and like last but not least, we will head to Fingers Fin Peace Bennies and see Fin Peace Bennies as you are in a disguise. You're in a reasonable outfit for doing your best. Because you have a few. Honestly, you think your Corfin outfit wouldn't go amiss with like similar leathers and armaments like that you saw her when she was in the warehouse. Like you're like that's pretty good, and you're about the same size. You just kind of adjust some buckles, tighten things up, and you begin heading to, I believe 24 is the so it's this like gated off area. And you begin making your way through the city. As you pass through 15, which is kind of like the government, people are hustling and bustling about. You hear a shouting of like, we're not getting proper trade rights, blah, and like screaming of like, obviously petitioners, like unfair trade embargoes and, government stuff, bureaucracy. You make your way through there with Reggie and Disbin, and you eventually get to like a city, not a city hall, but like a police precinct. But looks like there's a large barracks. There's a training grounds in here. There's a watchtower, which I believe is 25, or it might be something else. I don't know. Okay, no, 25 is the private bath, but it is protected by. It is attached, so they can also have their own baths. So you are head in. You see like a bunch of guards are standing. They're keeping it protected, but they're not like questioning you. Like, as you kind of move through the main doors, you see a desk sergeant kind of sitting there, like looking down. There's a line of people, filling out forms or talking. What would you like to do?
All right, and she's a gnome, right?
She's a halfling.
Halfling. Okay. Okay. So I'll be like, I'll ask Disbin to kind of like wait outside, and I will establish my skill of a telepathic bond with Disbin so he can hear me in his head for the next 2 hours.
Thanks.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in and I'm going to tell them, I'm going to ask them to actually escort me to my office because I haven't been here for a while. And so if they question me, I'll be super vague. I'll work it out. But if there's any problems, this is the voice you're going to hear in your head.
Okay, this is really, really weird. I can also hear Reggie. He's very hungry and says you smell weird. But yeah, I can do this. Got it.
Yeah, you're just like,
I'm gonna be across the street, and so I won't be too far away.
Perfect. Okay.
As you make your way in, so you're just gonna look for a guard, Or what?
Well, you said there was like a desk sergeant.
Yeah, there's
right?
a desk sergeant, and he's like filling out, like talking to people as they come up. having
Yeah,
them sit.
I'm gonna try and use the fact that he's kind of distracted with all this busyness.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna approach.
Excuse me, Sergeant. Listen, I know I haven't been here for a while. I know you're super busy. I don't want to bother you, but can I get somebody to escort me to my office, because I have not been here for a while, and I really need to get some of my materials, and I need to just get everything settled. So can we get this done, please?
His eyes go wide, and he goes, "Copper Chief, he's looking for you. Go to the chief's office right now."
All right, can I go grab some stuff from my office first, and then go see
He
him?
said, "If I saw you, you need to go immediately to the chief's office right this second. No slipping out. No, oh, I got another job right behind the corner, like you always do. Go right to it." And he just points down the hallway.
All right. Shit. Okay.
So I will go. I'll go where he was pointing to. Is it like super busy? Like are there a lot of people in this area?
It's a move. It's a hustle and bustle. You know, there are a bunch of desk guards like filling out stuff. There's definitely guards like getting ready for patrol. But it's a hustle and bustle of almost a police station.
All right, I'm gonna try to, as I'm going towards the way he pointed, I want to like look around and see if I can find my desk or my office,
Okay,
or whatever.
Let's go with a perception check. Yeah, perception.
That's a big fat 7.
This is a hustle and bustle, and you're a small city guy these days, so you never been in a real big city with a precinct like this. Like, Watchers had 3 jail cells and like 3 deputies. There's like 30 people, and there are turns, there are offices, there are doors, but there is one door that says Chief that you do recognize. It says Chief Brandstone.
And he called me Coppersmith?
Yeah, Copper Chief.
Copper Sheath. Okay. So kind of I'll be resigned that I go to talk to this chief, but as a changeling, when I change into a form, I actually try to actually be that person. So in my head, I'm already thinking, what does this damn fucker want? He's stopping me from trying to do what I need to do. Blah, 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 blah. And so I start like almost getting indignant that I'm being forced to go see the chief. And then I will just kind of like burst through the door with Reggie by my side.
Okay, you see this half-orc, huge half-orc, scarred. He's smoking a cigar. Definitely, while buff, he definitely got a little bit of a fat guy body. Clearly, he's been behind this desk a little longer, but back in his day, he definitely, was on the streets. And as he opens the door, he kind of he has these like tiny glasses on. Clearly, he was like reading something, and he like pushes up, and he looks down. "Copper Chief, you have the balls to walk in here a month telling me you had some sort of investigation. Yeah, you might have done good busting that, illegal ring of forgeries in the museum, catching them thieves. But now you have the audacity to show up."
Look, Chief, do you see this dog right next to me? Do you think I've been sitting on my ass this whole time? No, there are people getting sick from a rat infestation, which, if my sources are correct, are coming from some shit from Freeport. That's one. Two, there are children going missing, and their parents are asking me to find them as well. This dog has been the only thing that's been keeping me alive and helping me with my investigations. What have you been doing about the missing children? What have you been doing about the sick people and these assholes from Freeport?
You can make me an intimidation check with advantage.
Yeah, Reggie punctuates the statement with a very deep bark.
That's a natural 20 for a 22.
So he definitely is caught back by like you're immediately firing back at him. This is clearly a person who doesn't often get that. And he goes, "That's what you're doing. I'm waiting for your report. Don't get indignant with me." And you can definitely tell he's like sweating a little bit. But he's like, you said you were going to look into some weird things happening on the docks, but you never gave me any reports or follow-ups, and I have people breathing down my neck.
If it wasn't for this dog,
I'm having internet issues.
my life. And that's why he's with me, and he's gonna go everywhere I fucking go, because he is my dog, damn it, and I've named him Reggie. And you will show him respect, and you show me respect, because people are going missing. You want my report? Here's my report. The Freeport, you better send some men over to that Freeport boat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That fog, that's not an illusion, okay? You better do something about that right now. Get some men down there. You do an inspection. I don't care what it is you have to do, but there's something fishy going on that boat, and I almost died when I was doing my investigation. While you handle that, I'm going to see if I can find those missing children, because clearly you're not doing what needs to be done.
He kind of like steps back, and he stands up, looming at like 6'10". He walks around and closes the door. Oh, sorry, I'm getting weird. My shit's freezing. Sorry, I froze for a
Entertain us.
second.
Roll some
you
dice,
froze
please.
us.
Okay, I'm back.
The last thing you said was he kind of stands up.
Okay,
That was
perfect. Yeah, I was like, I'm just closing websites. I'm like, shit's freezing. So he goes, he just stands up, looms over you, and closes the door. Because everyone heard this yelling match. And he goes, "Listen, I know we're looking into it. It's going to take a lot of pull for me to get the docks inspection to go over to that boat. They have a lot of sway. So I'll do my part, and I'll talk to the big people. You do yours. Find out what's happening. I know there's more to this sickness. I think it's covering something up just like you. But you haven't reported in a month. I generally get reports dropped by you every week, every 10 day at least. You drop it in our special place, and I haven't seen hide no hair in the past month."
Look, like I said, have you been in the sewers? Do you know how confusing it is? I almost died down there. This dog let me out. Okay, so I had to find. You don't even want to know the kind of things I had to eat down there to survive. Okay, definitely not rats, because they were trying to attack me the whole damn time. Once again, wasn't for this dog, I would be dead. So I understand, and I apologize, but there's so much going on right now. I have to get back down into those sewers, because I think that's where the children are. So I came here to pick up some stuff from my desk that is going to help me. And then from there, I promise you, I will get you your reports on time and all that stuff. But we got to move on this fast. So whatever you can do for that boat, that's great. I love that. I'm glad you're on top of that. But I got to get down there, and I got to save those kids.
He goes, all right, Peyton. You're a good lass, and I appreciate your service. I know you. I can see you've been through a lot." He opens his desk drawer and he pulls out 2 glasses, opens a bottle of some sort of liquor, pours you a shot, pours him a shot, and goes, "We're doing the right thing. I'll get my part done. You do yours." And I don't really give a shit about your dog's name. I don't know why you told me that whole story about it, but great. Just do your fucking job.
I love this dog.
and then I'll take it. I'll take it.
Drink. He goes, all right, you can leave.
All right.
And as you open the door, he goes, and that's it. Get out! How dare you talk to me? As he continues, he as the chief got the upper hand. And
yeah, I'll just walk out, close the door.
Yeah, everyone was leaning toward their desks toward hear what the fuck happened. And as soon as
what are you all looking at? Get back to work. They
all back up. Somebody.
And I'll point when I said you. I'll point to a guard that kind of looks like maybe like he's gonna do whatever I tell him to do, and I'll be like,
I need an escort to my desk. Take me to my desk right now. I gotta get some stuff.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. And he just he's just file. He begins escorting you. You see an office that says Peyton Coppersheaf, detective. And it has embossed glass, and it's clearly your office. The door, there are two doors, so it has a half barn door and a full so it can be opened one or the other. And he goes and looks at you, he wants to leave, but he's waiting for you to give him permission.
Dismissed. You can go now.
He just fucks off. He just runs back to whatever he was doing. You are alone in this hallway where you see there's a half door and a full door that is one.
Figuring that this woman is not only keeping secrets, but also double playing these guys. I'm gonna look as inconspicuously as possible to see not only if it's locked, but if it's fucking trapped.
All right, make me an investigation check.
That's a 12.
I will say this: you don't see any traps, but you have a suspicion that it's likely trapped, and it might just be too. It just might be too fine of you to find it. Or maybe the trap's on the inside, so it's not something in the lock. Because clearly you're someone might try to barge in here, and so she probably doesn't have anything dangerously trapped, on the door at least.
Is it? So here's a weird question. Since it's a barn door,
yeah,
are there two locks?
There are two. There are two doors, two doorknobs.
I want to check the upper lock.
Okay, make me another investigation check.
Can Reggie give the help action, Gene, or not for this kind of thing?
I'll say sure. Because he can smell if something's poison tipped or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 15.
Okay, the top one is definitely trapped. It seems to have some sort of wire that likely leads to an alarm or something, but it definitely is not a poison or a sting.
Okay, so once again, as inconspicuously as possible, and asking Reggie to possibly if I could just climb on his back and he could kind of boost me up slightly.
Sure.
I'm going to try and undo the lock and the trap on the top one, since I know it's there.
Make a thieves' tools check.
All right, so D20 and my dex
Plus
and my proficiency.
Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Reggie cannot help you finally pick a lock.
I figured as much.
That is an 18 total.
Okay. So I will say with that, we don't have to make two checks. You disarm the wire and you unlock the top lock.
All right, I'll open it and climb in, and then I will see.
Because you did the top, it actually opens the whole door.
Oh.
Because that's how the barn door would work. It would be either you open the bottom one or you open the top one and it opens both.
Perfect.
So you get in. You don't think you set anything off. You see a halfling office, though it's in a human-sized room. So it is a well-furnished office. There's lots of books, lots of different folders. Definitely an older smell. It looks a bit stale in here. It doesn't look like it's been used very much.
All right, so okay, I will quickly talk to Dizzy in his head.
Yeah. So I'm in my office. I'm gonna start looking around right now. Everything so far so good. I'll keep you updated.
Okay.
And I will make an investigation check to see if I can find anything of hers,
Okay.
like clothing or anything that I
Sure.
could, or anything of interest that I might, grab very quickly.
Make an investigation check, and Reggie can also make one too.
Reggie can make one. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think his investigation is going to be terribly great.
I mean, I'll let him
Good
give
try.
Finn advantage if you'd like that.
Yeah, he'll give the help action. If he can give the help action, he will.
Okay.
All right, that was a 14.
Okay. So you look around, and there's definitely some stuff in here, but it's again a month old, so the scent might be a little dead on it. But you do notice that she has a desk, and the drawers are locked, and so there might be something of interest.
Okay, I will attempt to also traps and open the locks.
Give me an investigation one more time.
Ooh, is Reggie still helping me?
Sure. We'll say yes, just to make it happen.
Yep.
Oh, thank God for Reggie. It's a nat 20 for 26.
The drawers are locked, but what you realize is they are false locks, and that there is a button underneath that likely unlocks some sort of panel somewhere in this desk.
I hit the button.
You hit the button, and you notice that where your feet would be, another side piece opens up, and you see that there seems to be some folded cloth in there.
Okay, I will look in again, seeing if there's any traps in there.
There are no traps. We'll
Okay.
keep it going.
Yep.
This folded cloth is an outfit that looks very similar to the Cult of Tenebris. Halfling sized.
All right, I'll take it and I'll put it in my bag, and after a quick look around, make sure there's nothing else. I will head out with Reggie and go back to Tiziana Street.
Okay. And I think that is where we will end tonight's session. You guys have acquired some information. You can make your way out, and we will reconvene in 2 weeks to kind of find out what the thrilling conclusion of that is, even though we had a little bit of an internet hiccup on my end, but we're back and everything worked itself out. Yeah, I was like, fuck, we're in the middle of a scene. I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for playing, and I'm going to give us to the wrap screen so we can all go to bed.
Awesome.
Nice.
Great game.
All right.